Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we are going to obviously do a little update on how World of Warcraft's going and kind of just how everything's been. Obviously been busy leveling up. Right now I am sitting at level 30. So like I said in the last video, going to be switching from Legion and switch to Draenor. Obviously, Warlords of Draenor was not really necessarily the most well-liked of the expansions. A lot of people didn't like the fact that it kind of made it a solo experience, which, for a lot of people was the antithesis of what a MMO should be, which I entirely agree with. And at the time, it went through one of the longest content droughts ever in the history of the game. And I just think overall just wasn't handled very well and just really suffered because of that. I think now as a leveling zone, it's improved a lot actually. I think things like the Garrison, which at first separated you from a lot of players, are now a lot more interesting and a lot better. Just through the fact that, you can now pretty much enjoy them. You don't need to feel pressured to play with your friends. I know that sounds weird, but or if you're rolling with a party of 2 friends, it's quite enjoyable. It's quite relaxing. It's good to enjoy Draenor, and the Garrison gives you a lot of solo incentive to do things. It gives you a lot of like solo enjoyment in the game, and I think that's something that's really strong with Draenor, at least as a choice for your leveling zone. Now, in terms of like the actual leveling experience, it's the same as what it was, questing mainly. I haven't done a dungeon here, not even out the first area, gained 10 levels. Not even like halfway through the first area, I've gained 10 levels. The beginning zone, like the introduction to Legion, gives you like 6 levels. Like that's just getting into Legion, it gives you like 6 levels. So it's a very strong beginning experience for experience, beginning experience for experience, but it is, I think, maybe a little bit too accelerated. Like, feel like I'm moving at quite a rapid pace, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a little bit, kind of disorientating and overwhelming, especially with a lot of things to grip, like, and some things taking time. You will probably, if you choose Draenor, you will probably outlevel it before you get to do anything too meaningful in it or experience too much of the story, especially if you do side quests. There's bonus objectives. There's a lot that actually goes on in Draenor, which, on one hand is very good, but on another hand is also obviously somewhat detrimental to the experience, because you can easily gain a lot of experience quite quickly. Um, that being said, it is very enjoyable, and I've had a lot of fun. The story, I think, is really well presented, very in line with Legion kind of standards. Maybe not the exact same storyline, but it is definitely in line with Legion standards. And I think overall, you do need a little bit of lore knowledge to understand it. But because you're resetting and going back in time, I do think it is somewhat easier to understand. Somewhat easier to understand. I don't want to say, that it's like horrendously easier to understand, but it is definitely somewhat better to understand. In terms of my progress as my class, I didn't gain too much since the last time, since level 20. Just basically gained Rune of Power, which augments my abilities. I make a little kind of symbol on the floor, and that will increase my damage for a period of time, which is nice for setup on bosses and pulling somewhat biggish mobs when I can plan it. But other than that, the rotation is still the same. Arcane Blast to generate charges, and then Arcane Barrage to expend all those charges. Arcane Explosion to generate charges when, um, obviously hitting AoE units, and then of course Arcane Missiles when I want to do some successive damage. Of course, I did get some new talents, which did change things up a little bit. One of them was Rune of Power, but the other one was Slipstream. So when I have clear casting, which is a buff that you can randomly get. When I have clear casting active, I will be able to essentially move while casting arcane missiles, which is pretty cool. But it just gives a little bit of mobility. It doesn't necessarily do anything more wild than that. I got evocation, which helps me with mana channeling, and I got arcane power, which is cool. So if you combine arcane power with, if I combine arcane power and rune of power, I do some pretty gnarly damage. But yeah, like overall, obviously just mainly a couple buffs. The rotation is pretty set, and there are a couple abilities that we'll get along the way as we progress now into the next section. So as I continue to level up, I will gain some utility stuff. Mirror image will be a little bit later on, which is a nice damage increase, but we should get Touch of the Magi soon, and then we will get Presence of Mind soon as well, both of which will speed up the rotation, give us some more instant casts, and just help with the kind of slowness of the rotation at this time. Overall, questing experience mainly been the priority here. We haven't really been able to kind of focus down on anything else. Questing is the main goal. I've very rarely done dungeons on this character at all, if any, which is fine. I'm not like a person who, I enjoy dungeons, but I enjoy more mythic dungeons or endgame dungeons. I'm not the kind of person that distinctly needs to do dungeons to feel like I am progressing. I feel like dungeons are better run when I'm doing them as part of a story, but for the most part, I'm just not too concerned about it. Like, I'll be honest, I'm really not too concerned. It's a good time, but I'm not, like, I don't need dungeons, you know. Like, I don't need them to feel like I'm doing stuff. So, yeah. Really enjoyed the experience so far. Legion's been a good time. And Draenor, definitely not as fun as Legion. I think Legion's artifact quests and stuff make it very personal and very quick to get in. But I think Draenor's a bit more than fine starting zone. I think if you're into base building and stuff like that, then maybe go for Draenor, because I do enjoy the Garrison experience. I think it's a lot of fun, especially now that it's all like solo. There's no, you don't feel like you're missing out from your friends. It just feels like a nice side thing you're doing while you're kind of exploring through the zone. So for me, I enjoy it, and I think maybe other people will enjoy it as well. But yeah, I would say they're both good. They've both been good. Both been a lot of fun. I think overall the experience is probably the same, although now comparatively level 30, obviously here in World of Warcraft, is probably about 1/3 of the way to max level. I think we played 6 hours or so, and it'll probably take about 18 to get to max level, around about there, if not 24. So, like, we're about 1/3 of the way, maybe 1/4 of the way, and it's a lot faster to hit that apex of max level than Final Fantasy. At level 30 though, in direct comparison, Final Fantasy does obviously become a much stronger game combat-wise, and I think WoW definitely between level 20 and 30 feels the same. I don't think there's a dramatic increase. I don't think you feel a huge power step up. You don't feel this big kind of like movement towards a bigger, I don't feel like a bigger, stronger character at this stage to what I was 2 hours ago or 2.5 hours ago. So I think this is definitely where WoW can work on that. I think you gain stuff meaningfully, but I think they need to adjust certain things. I want to feel like I am gaining abilities, but I want to feel like I'm getting meaningful powers. I really want to feel like I'm gaining abilities that matter. I want to feel like I'm gaining, powers that matter. And I think that doesn't happen yet at this point. I think that will happen when I gain something like Mirror Image. I think that will help out. It will feel a bit impactful. We gain a couple more interesting moves. I think those will help out. But for now, it is definitely. I haven't got anything yet that feels impactful, that throws my rotation for a spin. And I think something good to compare it to is in Final Fantasy, you get your 1-2 rotations, and those 1-2 rotations can split into something else. So I can do a rotation and choose between a dot or just to do damage. And I think that's something that doesn't happen in World of Warcraft enough, at least in the leveling phase. I just do rotations that kill the guy faster. I don't really think about anything. I don't have like choices, and I think having choices would be good. I think it would be good to have some choices to like have to weigh up decisions or maybe change rotations. Now maybe they'll fix that in Dragonflight. Obviously that's the dream, but right now that's definitely missing from World of Warcraft. The rotations are set, but there's not enough nuance within the rotation for me to go like, okay, this is what I need to do, and I want to maybe do this instead. And I think that 100% could be improved on. But with that being said, the levels don't matter as much. Whether that's a good or bad thing, obviously, again, very up to debate. But right now, it's been fun. It's been a very arcadey, smooth experience. And, comparatively, 6 hours into Final Fantasy, I think you maybe starting the first dungeon with your friends. Whereas here, I'm well into questing with my friends. Like, I would be I could have done several dungeons with friends. I'd probably even be higher level overall. Like, the whole experience is just different. And I think that is something that WoW does well, at least so far. I think it makes itself a lot more accessible. I think it can definitely trade some of that, though, to make a better experience. I don't want to be stuck away from the in-game content, because WoW is such a massive game, but it needs to have some kind of coherence to it. And I still am lacking a little bit of that, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. But the experience itself is pretty straightforward, and questing is still questing. It is still, for me at least, it's enjoyable. The world is still the same. I still feel a really good connection with World of Warcraft. The style is still really, really fun. At least for me, I still find it really enjoyable. I do. Some people will disagree. Some people will say that I'm being silly, but yeah, for me, I don't know. I really, really like the style. I think has more of a nuanced artistic style comparatively to Final Fantasy, and I think that does help the questing. At least the sporadic nature of questing. But you do a lot more quests that, like, you enter a zone and you can feel the difference. Like, I do 3 or 4 quests to kind of move through a passage in the story, whereas in Final Fantasy, obviously, a quest is a passage in the story, I think also the story can be missed a lot in WoW because there's not a lot of voice acting. Obviously, it's much better in these expansions. World of Warcraft from Draenor onwards did more voice acting, and so it is a lot more understandable. And maybe players who are new will read the quest logs more. Like here, we do have some voice acting, we do have some stuff going on. But it does lack, obviously, the story presentation of Final Fantasy, which starts off very strong from the beginning. But I think, at least from Warlords of Draenor and from Legion onwards, I think we definitely do have a bit of a stronger presentation and a much better service to the game. So yeah, we'll finish up this quest here. But yeah, obviously, like I said, it's been an enjoyable time. It's been fun. Personally, yeah, I have enjoyed it. I've also been playing through Shadowlands as well with a friend on another character. Uh, I've enjoyed my time in World of Warcraft. I definitely think it's a lot more casual. And whether it's just because of my experience so far, or maybe just because of the current community on the server I'm on, I am tending to have better player interactions. But like I say, everyone's going to have different experiences. But I really enjoyed. I've been enjoying leveling, and it's been going well. Should be able to get to level 40, and then we'll be able to see from there how everything goes. But yeah, going well so far. And yeah, I'll probably switch now. I'll probably switch from Draenor, and I will head to probably Pandaria next, and then for the end, I'll just do classic WoW questing basically, and then we'll see how we go from there. So I think that'll be a good call. I think Pandaria is kind of the last of the cinematic expansions. Not to say that Lich King isn't a fun expansion, but like I do think, yeah, that obviously the presentation was different. So we'll definitely try that. I'll do Pandaria next, and then we'll see where we go. But awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye.